Hello everyone. Hello. I'm SaLLy and it's so exciting to be here. And just give me a little bit of time that I would like to introduce myself. Actually, I'm a Moza Junior High School teacher in Taipei, and also actually I'm doing the bilingual health education. The next thing is very different from what I'm doing right now is traditional Chinese medicine practitioner in Australia as well. And I create a bilingual SOP teaching method that will be like over 16 years already. And very luckily, I have the awareness from the National Super Teacher Award in 2022, which is very difficult. And thank you so much for the awareness. And okay, the next one is the emergency of the bilingual education. This is a group. We try to help the student and also teacher to do a lot of different kind of the bilingual things and also the international things from this group. And that's over like 8,000 teachers from all around Taiwan. And the last one, very important, I'm the PhD student from National Taipei University of Education. Okay, I do have some section I would like to share with you. The first thing is a bilingual SOP, what we have got. Okay, so where this comes from? Because I have the traditional Chinese medicine background, how can I become a teacher? All right, so this is what we have got for the bilingual SOP teaching methods. But I'm not gonna talk about this too much. I just give you a very basic idea what I have done for this one. Wow, okay. You don't need to know everything from here, but we'll just see what I actually to do the bilingual in my class. You can see that I use the traditional Chinese medicine, the diagnosis way, to see what my student needs. So I use the book, listen, question, and feel. So the first one is I observe my student, not about their healthy. It's about what they are impressed, what they are sure from the class. Do they like the class? Or they cry for the English? I don't know. So that's a very important when you see and you talk in English and their reaction. So if they're happy, then you can keep continuously. If they cry, maybe you can just change something a little bit. Maybe put some Chinese. How can you do that? So I will tell that more about that. And listen what they say. Maybe they will say, oh, is that English class? This looks like health education class. How come teachers SaLLy speak English? And they check their timetable, and they just make sure this is not English. All right, and you will know that students don't really like that. And some students will say, wow, that's English. That's very, very good chance that for me to speak and also listen more English from this class. So different students have talked differently. And the next one, you can do the question. So you can ask them, what is your name? And they will like say, oh, I am 20 years old or 12 years old. And then you will know that they have no idea what you're talking about. All right? So you can try to question them and just level up, or you can think about how much English you can put into this class. So you feel that, so which means it's a diagnosis, what the student needs. So how can I diagnose that? Do you know that's a traditional Chinese herbal formula? Some of the students, maybe you know what is a 食物汤, and some of you, maybe you know the 四君子汤. This is for the deficiency of blood and deficiency of qi, then we will use that. But in bilingual education, how can we use that? Easy, PowerPoint and worksheets. What does that mean? Once you put Chinese into PowerPoint and once you put Chinese into the worksheets, student achieve 25 and blood 25. So they wake up. They realize that, oh, teacher SaLLy, your class is not just in Chinese talking all the time. You do have the Chinese on the PowerPoint, and you do have the Chinese on the worksheets. It helps and wakes them up. All right, so if the student have very good condition, then you can have more and more English in my class. So which means I will add these two different curves to make up the Sichuan tongue. And this is a very good for students who have very good condition, so you can have more overall. If a student who have not very good condition and you put too much English into the class, in Chinese medicine, they will say the patient will have the bleeding of. So which means the student, same thing, they cannot hold it. They cannot hold all this English class from you. So you need to reduce the English oral just because the different patient, different student have the different condition. All right. So this is one of the Chinese medicine that we are using. And also the methods. This is the same routine. So the same routine helps the student to reduce their pressure. So we try to make students to reduce their pressure just because we put too much English in the class. All right. So the next thing is very, very important is don't let the student hate English, and don't let the student hate the subject that you are actually teaching right now. And also don't let the student hate you. That's very, very important. Otherwise, they will never come to your class. So which means they will not get any content from you, and they will not speak out any English just because of me. All right, so that's a very big, important points for myself. All right, so why teacher SaLLy actually doing bilingual education? But this is the main things I do in bilingual education. That's because they're international education as well. All right, for student, why we actually to do that? This is not just nice to have the international education into your class. It's essential. For example, because I'm from Australia, and then we do have international education just like a daily life. So we now actually put it into the class, says, okay, this is international education, and we're gonna do this one for 45 minutes. No, we don't have that. Because around my class, around me, everybody's from international. I do learn a lot of cultural things from them. But in Taiwan, my students, they don't really have this kind of chance. So what can we do for that? Well, the cultural awareness, what we can do is, for me, I bring a lot of different kind of the foreigner into my class, and I invite all these international guests into my class. And they can see the difference and the lifestyle and also the way of thinking. That's very important from my students. Otherwise, they always say, teacher SaLLy, I want to become a doctor. I want to have one house. I want to earn a lot of money, but they never thought that there are a lot of full of opportunity that they can choose. Okay, so building connection. So how do we make students to build connection? So this is one of the teachers we need to do, is to help them to bring different kind of the international guests into the class. It's not just to do the international sharing. It also makes students curiously, empathy, and ambition. That's very important for them. So this is why I'm trying to do this one for many years. And my students just realized, well, and also if I want to contact to them, what can I do? Speak English. Start to speak very simplified English. Well, that's a very good start for them. Because for them, they always say, teacher SaLLy, my English is not very good, and I got a Taiwanese accent, And as you can hear that, I got Australian accent as well. So people can understand. The point is people can do the very good communication, or you can just do pass your message to other people. That's most important. It's nothing about the accents. Okay, it's not just for students. We also do something for teacher. So what can we do? Because I'm from Australia, so I do know about something about Australia's education, the way of teaching. So sometimes I share with them, and they say, "Oh, Teacher SaLLy, is that have any kind of chance we can go to Australia to do the class observation, or we can have the workshop?" And I was trying to contact EQI, which is the department of the government from Queensland. And they say, yes, of course, and they will organize for our teacher. So that will be a very good chance for them to go to Australia, Queensland, to do the class observation. And the most important thing is they can bring these resources back to Taiwan into their class, so back to the local classroom. That's most important. So this is not just me can do that. All the teachers come with me, and we do the same thing and bring this one back to Taiwan. Okay, so thoughts about the bilingual policy. This is a very, very interesting topic. A lot of people ask me, is there any challenge for you to do the bilingual education when the policy, blah, blah, blah? And I say, well, for me, it's really not for me, just because I'm doing the things, it's not because of the policy. It's because of the student, the needs. And also you need to believe what you are doing right now. So stick with what you're doing right now, and you need to take a long term to see through, and people will notice what you're actually doing. And the student, and the teacher, and the parents as well. So just do what you think you believe, and you think that's truthful to do that. All right, so this is a very important and key point. All right, so I do have some tips for the education, and people really want to do international education or bilingual education. You can stick with this four. The first one is find your routine. So if you have the same routine, just like what I have done in my class, I have the 7 steps, start from year 7 to year 9. And my students know and they do understand what I'm going to do the next steps. And they don't really have too much scary just because they know. And then they can focus on your content. And the next one is about the culture. So culture is not compare who is better, it's to understanding the different way, and also very important for students to know how to respect to other people. All right, and also build a relationship. We need to build up the relationship, not just between you and me, maybe the country, and maybe the culture, and maybe your background, your experience, you can share with us. We do have we build up the relationship from them. The last one, very important, stay positive. All right, so this is the 4 things I would like to just give you my tips, why I can do that for like 17 years already. And then this is my tips that just share with you. All right, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you.